Hi, this is me, the Grand Duchess Rasmus Coden, 3706 Manor Road, Apartment 2. How are we all doing today, this happy Friday morning? Peace and blessings unto you. Sun blossom, sunlight yellow, or something like that. Anyway, today is the day of standing in your own face and faith. Today is the day you look ahead and you looked and you see the end. And the end was what it is, the end. Some ends have no substance. It has no beginnings. Some ends can't make amends. And so therefore, you look to begin for new ends. Sometimes you live knowing it's the end. Knowing that change is obvious. It looms like a dark shadow to burst bright light into hopeful, insightful, aspiring minds. But such is discernment and wisdom. It never stops. When there is persecution and guilt to authority, fear besets it. Fear of being found out. Fear of personal power. Fear of loss of control. And so in my whole entire experience, one thing after another, we know who have not been able to dampen my spirits. We know circumstances, let's not say a who, circumstances do not dampen your abilities to have joy, enjoyment, and happiness in your life. Yes, we do need to function. And reality is that we need to survive. But first, before we start to survive, let's survive on the inside. Let's get the core and purpose of your being together. And no matter what a man may starve of you and take of you, you are still in that space to loom. Loom. And that would be the full circle of your life. I remember all the time, all the wise men, I said it once already, they waited so cautiously and patiently before they could leave. The antagonism of being true, the reality of being a complete human being, spiritually, emotionally, and even socially. That completeness never led them into the desperation of the need of society. Because, let's face it, modern day society starve people to bring them in line, arrest them, detain them. And we know that very well in the black community for years, just to get some sort of control or fear of society. Get some sort of control or fear over a group or a set of people. And if you never live in that fear, but you have known their fear, then you understand what your completeness is. To meet your needs without needing someone. To have hope without being cajoled by someone. To not have fear. if you're not inspired by anyone, are not loved by anyone. And so therefore I take it upon myself to give you this point of understanding, of wisdom. You loom always. There's not a desperation. There's not a humanity. There is not a material thing that stops you from looming. But the whatever great spirit that is put in your heart. And such would be the fear of your enemies. I was talking to someone last night. Why don't you go back? I said, no. Why don't you go back to the house of evil? Why don't you go back to communist Russia? Why don't you go back to slavery? It satisfies us. Why don't you go back? No, maybe some people would say skin. And why isn't growth accepted? Growth never goes back. It trumpets its mistake. It admonishes and admits in wisdom and discernment, and it spread new branches. Are you willing to be true and honest to you and to grow? And if you are, then here comes wisdom. And wisdom in faith, you loom. So a man can starve you. A man can say evil against you. A man can do whatever it is. But the great God and I see. And if that's not reality, well, tough luck to you with your technology. It's still reality to me. The funny thing about I and Ra, from my experience, it purposely chooses truth. It chooses people that takes a stand. It chooses people that embrace truth. It doesn't ask for perfection. It doesn't ask for pretense. It asks for blatant truth. Blatant truth so that it can live within you, so it can shine within you, so it can illuminate in your presence. And such I have been a witness to. This is me, the Grand Duchess Rasmus Kernan, also known as Ryan Tomlinson, 3706 Manor Road, Apartment 2. It looming, remember, loom, smaller than the crowd, greater than the room. Because the crowd know not of justice, but they have their law and their constitution. And let you not be the mule. Because if you were, then animals you are, and no thought and conscience of humanity, love, correction of mistakes, and hope of fulfillment of love to better human. Have a good day.